And this is just the introductory video to give you a heads up about what to do today. There's going to be a couple different screencasts so that they can upload into Canvas. And the first one here, I'm just going to give you an overview of the lesson for today. And then there'll be a second one with some reading, and then a third one with some more directions for the second activity that you're going to do in class. So if you haven't already done this, make sure you have recorded the homework for today. Your homework is to finish today's lesson if you don't have it done in class. The other thing you're going to need to do is take out your class handout from Friday. This is the paper where we were exploring the 3 motivations for exploration, or the 3 G's. And on the back of that handout, you should have your evidence of learning. So you should have a symbol for God, gold, and glory. You should have the name of a person. And you should have evidence from the videos and the slides that show that you understand the concepts. Just as an FYI, I know we talked about this in my class and Mr. Elliott's class. If you're watching this, hi. And I know you guys are probably talking about this as well. But on Wednesday, we're going to have a quiz over OSSS, Ohio State Social Studies Standard 2, to see if you're at mastery for this content standard. And to demonstrate that to us, you are going to have to score at an 80% on the quiz. So we've talked about this in my class, that this content standard has a couple different parts, and we've already explored one of them when we were looking at our Native American guide and how Native Americans adapted to their environments. And then the second part, where we're looking at how and why Europeans colonized in the New World. So today, the first thing you're going to do is just dig into a little bit about further about Christopher Columbus and his exploration. I have a reading passage that I want you to read, either by listening to me read it to you, because, I mean, who wouldn't want to have somebody read to them? And here I am. Or you're going to read it yourself. And then there's going to be a little partner activity with that and some sharing that you'll do. So if you look at this slide, and then these slides are posted on the Canvas module 1.7, you can see our content standards for the day, OSSS 2. And then also the second part of the class today, you're going to be working with some maps. And that hits another standard for us, which is OSSS 15, which is your ability to use maps and geographic tools. So we're kind of knocking out 2 birds here today with our lesson. So for the first part of the lesson, this is where you're going to need that a piece of paper. And I'm going to ask you to choose a focus question. So when you're reading, or when you're listening to me read this passage, I want you to have a specific focus. It gives you a purpose for the reading and some specific things to look for. So if you're listening, your number 1 job is to listen, and your number 2 job is to look for information that fits with your focus question. So you got 3 options. The first one would be to look for, mark up, and find evidence of the 3 G's. You want to mark that down, share it with a neighbor in a little bit. The second would be to be thinking about Christopher Columbus, because we've all heard of him, we know him. There's a holiday for in his honor, where some schools actually are out of school, government buildings shut down, because we all believe, well, some people believe that he discovered this place. So I want to know your impressions of Christopher Columbus after hearing this text. And then the last question would be, how would you rewrite history, or how would you spill the tea, in a sense, based on the new information that you learn from this passage? So those are your options. I'm going to pause this video here and make a second one so it'll upload faster. So you can open up the reading and read it yourself. I'm going to just give you a heads up. It's a lengthier passage. So I am happy to read it for you so that you don't get tripped up by vocabulary. But if you want to read it yourself, you can do that. So go ahead and pause this one and we'll pick up in the second video.